Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know it's not morning, but you get the point. How is everybody doing on this fine Monday morning? Holy crap. Usually Monday mornings are reserved for bitching about the Dolphins and how bad they played the previous day, but not today. Not today. Wow. So, let's see what we got. Let's see who's here. We got half a chat already going. Let's see. Jeff, how you doing, bud? Yep. Cool. How you doing? Erod clicking on the road. Exactly, Jeff. Still 1 out of 2 in Carolina. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. Colby, how you doing this morning? Yeah, Bobrovsky has been fantastic. Yeah, the couple of goals that he has given up. I mean, it's just been since the Leafs were up 3-1 in Game 3, he's allowed the 1 goal, and then at the end of Game 3 that Jones put in him, went off Jones. Then nothing in Game 4 or nothing in Game, and then just the 1 in Game 5 at the very end in garbage time, and then the 2 in Game 6 and the 1 from Domi yesterday. Just been crazy good. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Yeah, you were wired last night, melatonin. Yeah, I can empathize with that. Yeah, it was. Fossey, how you doing? I know, Seth Jones. Yep. Yeah. Well, he had definitely a career game yesterday. Both the pickups yesterday, Jones and Marchand, obviously played a huge role in all of this. Hey, Hungry. Jeff says Bob hasn't had to stand on his head. Yeah, I mean, he's made some saves, but he hasn't had a game where he's had to stand on his head for 40 shots. You know what I mean? He's made the saves when we've needed him to. It just hasn't been. I mean, last night in the first period was big. He had at least the 2 breakaways that he had to stop. And if one of those goes in, it could be a completely different game. So Fossey says, I love the fourth line. We're so deep in E2 is turning out to be a goal scorer. He's always had the potential to be 20 to 25. Yep. Craig says Swaggy got robbed by Carlos Stain. Oh, geez. All right. Really? I mean, did you really subscribe to just do that? That's really what you got, Nice Night? I mean, for crying out loud. The dude, he took the time to subscribe to the channel to say that, to spam trash. Come on, man. If you're going to do that, at least make it worth the while. Good Lord. Who's that? I can't read today. Yeah, Everett. How you doing, buddy? Says, what's the odds Marchand comes back? The odds we hope he comes back is 100%. It's really going to depend on Bennett Ekblad and how much money does Marchand want, right? Will everybody take a little bit less to keep it together? Bennett might. I don't know. It's not my money. But you got to figure they're at least going to talk, right? They're at least going to have the discussion. Hey, Petri or Pete? No, it's got to be Petri, right? How you doing? Cheers from Finland. Thanks for joining us. IDK says, hope the Panthers lacking a rest isn't going to hinder them. Yeah, they do tend to play worse after a long rest. Get one of 2. To be honest with you, what I would expect is us still being in Game 7 mode for Game 1 against Carolina, win that one, and then not have the gas to put up with what Carolina puts back in Game 2. That seems to me like we'll still be on a high and maybe win Game 1 in Carolina, and then the energy level will be like for Thursday's night, and Carolina gets one back. Rico says Toronto fans going to pick up their Oilers jersey per Elliott. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it was an interesting result to wake up to, right? Hey, Colin. Colby says playing a Hospital Devils teams and a Cap team only carried by Thompson isn't awe-inspiring. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, bud? Hungry says Martian was ruthless, dropping that we have to be Leafs on Biz postgame. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bonehead, I hope honestly, I'm not going to say I hope to get Edmonton, but I hope it's a rematch, because if it's a rematch, we beat Carolina. Either way, you know what I mean? Hey, don't sleep on Carolina. Remember, yeah, we swept them. The goal differential in that series was 4. You know what I mean? We're in for a battle. We're in for a battle. Carolina's a big, tough team, but I feel like as long as we stay healthy and that our bottom 6 should eat again. Honestly, Colby thinks the Toronto Florida series was the true Cup final. Jones looked like McCarr last night. Petrie, he did. He looked really good. Hey, Pente. Yep, so far, Pente, so good, right? We're halfway there again. Halfway there. Ted says, what a broadcast by Dangle. I feel bad for him. I honestly do a little bit. I honestly do feel bad for him a little bit. I mean, 18 seasons, his team hasn't gotten past the second round. Like, I can't imagine what he has to deal with from, because I know what happens to my phone. I got 9,000 subscribers. We're 10 away from 9,000. I know what happens to my phone when the team looks bad. I can't imagine what he puts up with. I just can't imagine. Craig says, block that dude along with the 6 other. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. What's the purpose, right? My eyes are giving me problems again this morning. Let's see. Coote says, love the Marchand press conference. He said it wasn't a high-pressure game because it wasn't a Stanley Cup final game. Really showed the Leafs and their fans can't act like they've been there before. Yeah, none of the trolls came to the recap, interestingly enough. Hungry says, even though he picked the Leafs, slow-quality fan was absolutely right. The difference maker this series was the third line. Yeah. I mean, look, I talked about this with Kyle this morning. If you want to go player by player and just say, for sake of the argument, players cross each other out. Barkov and Matthews, Reinhart and Nylander, Verhaeghe and Marner, Bennett and Tavares, Nyes and Tkachuk. That's the top 5 for Toronto. They got nothing for Lundell, Luostarinen, and Marchand. Nothing. They got nothing that's going to match up, and most teams don't. The luxury that we have, and that's why it's so important. I don't care if we have to overpay Bennett. It doesn't matter. You're overpaying Bennett to keep Lundell as the secret weapon on the third line. That's why you overpay for Sam Bennett. Just my opinion. Rick says Marshy might actually take a team-friendly deal, a few good runs. Sure, why not? Sunshine and a few million a year, right? You know? Foster says the Canes scare me. They're big and tough and physical. I think they're just a little bit better than us. It's going to be about Bob and Anderson. It really is. We know Carolina's going to take a lot of those shots from way out, right? And for Florida, the key is going to be if we can block those shots and turn them into rushes the other way. To me, that's how I feel about that. Of course, Carolina keeps 5 guys back at all times anyway. So good luck. Ted, you talking about Bob getting beat 5-hole? Yeah, I mean, look, if he stops the 3 breakaways and allows 1 5-hole when we're up 3-0, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what I mean? It's less than optimal, but stop the 3 breakaways, allow 1 5-hole. Okay. Yeah, Martian chirping Biz, right? Yeah, exactly, Pete Petrie. Yeah. Lundell, Luostarinen, boy, it's just beautiful. I don't know how we're going to have to pay Luostarinen at some point. Not next season. I think he's got a couple more years left on his deal. Real says, I need to call out Erod. I know he's hurt, but he's the only player in the top 9 who hasn't scored during these playoffs. Well, I mean, he was out for what? A couple of games, right? I think Erod's just doing other things. You know what I mean? I don't put the emphasis on who's scoring goals so much in the playoffs as who's getting opportunities. You notice Barkov took a couple shots yesterday. You know, what was Rodriguez's plus minus? You know what I mean? How many times is he on the ice for the goals? And you look at the bottom 6. I mean, that's what won this series. I mean, Gadjo had 2 goals. Greer had a goal. Nosek had a goal. Lundell had a few. Luosterainen, Marchand. The bottom 6 is what won the series. Dark says, I think they said Marchand, Lundell, Lucian is the best line in the NHL in the playoffs, or it might just be for road games. I think they said, I think it's Luosterainen has the most points on the road for any team. I think that's what it was, but it could also be that too. Get this, Charles. Most points from the center of this playoffs. McDavid 17, Draisaitl 16, E2 with 12. Sign Brad Marchand. Sign Brad Marchand, please. Great White, man. We're halfway there. We are halfway there. Strafashi says you think it's going 6 or 7 games. Well, if you guys watch the entire recap, I'll take 7. Start game 7 right now. Because, like I said at the end of the recap, should the Eastern Conference Finals go to 7 games, game 7 is on Fluffy's birthday. You can't write that script. Pente thinks it'll be last year's finals again. I'm hoping. I don't want to say I'm hoping it's Edmonton, but if we win, that's all that matters to me. Yeah, you don't want to underestimate the Canes, right? Just like you didn't want to underestimate Toronto, for sure. Spaceman, I did watch the Dango video, yeah, and I thought about. I know some people wanted me to do the sipping coffee trolling thing. I didn't feel it was appropriate this year, to be honest with you. I don't feel like the first series we played them, they talked a bunch of trash. We beat them 5-1. That was worth being, you know what I mean? But this I don't feel like bragging about this one. I don't think he deserves it. I don't think it would be a good look for me to do that to him right now, because I can fully understand, you know. I mean, of the YouTubers that create videos for a specific team, I am the luckiest son of a bitch alive. I don't know if there's somebody that does what I do for the Lightning, but 2 straight cups. I mean, I can't make fun of somebody else. I may not have the top channel and everything, but in terms of covering a team for the full season and them having success, I don't think anybody's team has had more success than mine. So I can't really, do that to them. You know what I mean? Holy crap. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. Holy crap. Thanks, bud. He says, now I don't have to move to Canada. Oh, man. Thank you, my friend. Holy crap. Great White did you get a job? You rob a bank? What are we doing, bro? I really appreciate it. Holy crap. So, Michael says, Anderson's kind of always hurt a little bit, right? Jameson says, Morning Jaws, what a game. Saw you and Kyle. Wore your lucky game 7 gear for this. Yes. Yep. We took care of business. Oh, good question. Dark says, Bob should win the Conn Smythe. Let's get there. He's playing amazing. It's an interesting situation. It's an interesting question. How far off is E2 Luosterainen from that discussion? Or Marchand? Like, if Luosterainen keeps this pace, and we win the cup, I don't know. they would probably give it to Bob, though, right? Hey, I see another super here. Hey, thank you, Blair. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated, bud. He says, hey, Jaws, as a Leaf fan for 22 years, I've never seen my team win a second round. Good luck in the next round. You need to have changes. Blair, I appreciate that, man. And I feel for you. For you guys that are good Leaf fans, and there's most of you are, there's just, I know you guys had to figure this was the year. If Florida just dropped off enough and you guys picked up just enough, but it's the bottom six, excuse me. When you have so much money tied up in the top six, that bottom six constantly having to rotate and everything, you get good players, but you don't get the same consistency. You know what I mean? Greer and Gadjevich have been together a little while, and Nelder Ryan have been together, right? And that speaks volumes, man. I mean, that can make all the difference. And I genuinely believe it made the difference this series. Michael says, that's why I should troll him when we go on his stream and ask him to be nice to you or shout you out. He condescendingly scoffs and says, never. Well, you know what? His karma, my karma. His karma, my karma. I mean, to me, Michael, I like to let the universe settle those scores for the most part. If somebody says something to my face, you guys know I will defend myself. But stuff like that, I just kind of let the world and the universe even things out. And I got a Stanley Cup champion sign downstairs in the recap room. So I'm good. If he wants to have some kind of animosity towards me because he don't, that's on him. Prague, yeah, Talking Tampa is the channel. Were they doing every game and everything when they were winning the cups? Forgive me for not knowing. YouTube doesn't show us, you know what I mean? I mean, that's why his channel's had such a hard time growing. The algorithm doesn't show a whole lot of hockey, even when you watch it all day. David says, Canes are a solid team, but I really believe we have the edge in both goal and scoring D-men. It'll be interesting to see what the predictions are. I see a bunch of supers here that I'm missing. Hold on. Is it down on the bottom? Wow, the chat's moving fast today. Sorry, I can't get to everybody today. This is great. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, bud. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the 20. He says, what a great day. Poor Marner. Nobody can believe that Marchand gave the Leafs praise. You said you brought out Fluffy Shrine last game, and that will be a new tradition. Fluffy should be part of the stream as it was in the past. His shrine's there every night. So where I'm sitting, the TV is there. Ellie's bed was in front of me. Fluffy's bed was over there. In between is the pellet stove. So his shrine is on the pellet stove. It's there every single night. But last night I lit the incense. So, we'll just leave it there. Thank you, Colby. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Colby. He says, boy, my eyes are hurting me today. I can barely see. He says, backup stats. VTech, 10 games played, 2-4, 4.52, 8.34. Peter, 8 games played, 2-4, 3.5, 4.873. Both teams are screwed if their starter goes out. Yeah. Bubba. That's all we can say is Bubba, right? Michael says he acts like a YouTube elitist and says, I don't have enough followers, basically. Okay, well, I mean, that tells you all you need to know about him. But I think he treats everybody that way. You know what I mean? He treats everybody that way. So my team's got a cup, and he's, disappointed they have to blow it up. It is what it is, right? Yeah, Pente says, or Petri says, announcers barely noticed Reinhardt goal. Barkov wins the draw, and boom. They were busy showing a replay of what they thought might have been an interference call that the refs missed, and they missed the draw. It's like, man, literally one job. Michael, yeah, somebody call up Zito to sign Marchand right now, right? Fett, you want the Stars? I don't know. The Stars are, in my opinion, the Stars are a more complete team, and I'd rather take my chances against Skinner and Picard over Ottinger. That's just my take on it. CJ says, question, what worries me most about the Canes and how many games do I think it goes to? Well, I said before Game 7 would be on Fluffy's birthday, so I can't sit here and think anything other than Game 7. I think the Canes right now, right off the bat, are going to be motivated to finally win an Eastern Conference Finals game, and they will. I can't imagine we're going to sweep this team. Now, we've won some series going away, like against Tampa and whatnot, where, I didn't think we'd win in 5 and all of that. I didn't think we'd beat Leafs the first time in 5. If Bob is 100% Bubba, I feel like we have an edge there. In terms of what worries me about them is all the shots that they're going to take, and they may have an ability to get in front and get those deflections, and that's how you're going to want to beat somebody like Bobrovsky. So, not letting them get leads, I think is going to make a big difference. Getting the first goal in those games is going to be huge, because if you start chasing against Carolina, that's a tough team to come back against. Colby talking about the Dallas Stars fan base. Yeah. Blair says, case the core four did nothing. We need to move on and rebuild around Matty Nyes. Nyes is a good player. Yeah. Colby. So far, no Leaf fans have actually threatened me so far. We had, we've had our moments, but so far so good. Davis and Al Paul Maurice is 6-0 in Game 7s. Yeah. Yeah, we're real close to 9,000 eyes. We're less than 10 away from 9,000 subs. Maybe then Steve Dangle will say hi to me. NHL and Aviation says, hey, Jaws, what a victory last night. Gotta love seeing the Maple Leafs turning into whining idiots. Oh, the fans. Well, look, to the ones that are just being idiots, you just put those guys over there. Even the good fans, even the best fans are capable of having those moments. I've had those moments. Okay, go rewatch again. Game 3 against the Rangers after the second period. You put everything into your team. Sometimes people lose it. I just don't understand the arrogance and the cockiness that they have when they've not won anything. That's the part that just, what? That's the part I don't understand. Hey, I appreciate that, Fed. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated, bud. He says, congrats, Jaws. Thanks for the shout out at the end of the live stream. No wrench, please. Although I want to ban that Trey guy. Yeah, good luck, Panthers. 9,000 incoming. I appreciate that, Kenneth. Yeah. All right. We won't give you a run. Thanks, bud. Great White says, I was more worried about the Leafs than the Canes. What are my thoughts? With the Leafs, my concern was the breakaways and their speed and them outscoring us. With the Canes, my concern would be more in the opposite direction in terms of, can we score enough against their defense? I mean, we swept them, but it was what? 3-2, 2-1, 1-0. And I mean, we scored 9 goals, I think 10 goals in the 4 games. So the defense is going to have to be damn near perfect, right? Damn near perfect. Cade, yeah, it was on. He's asking about the comment about Fluffy. It was on the video I did before the game yesterday in the morning. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, it was like 5 different people that I just had to block. It was the wildest thing. There's always somebody that brings up Trump and Kachuk. And then because I was talking about the dogs in the video, I don't even want to give it energy to repeat what they said, but they just got instantly blocked. And then their team lost 6-1 at home. So I feel like justice was served. Yeah, Chris, the TNT broadcast was terrible. Blair says, Case, Leafs, I love the Leafs, been a Leafs fan my whole life, most loyal Leaf fan. Good game, by the way. Nothing but the most utmost respect to your team. How does it feel moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals? Such a different experience for me this year because I don't have this, I obviously you guys know Fluffy was on his way out. So last year was like as soon as the game was over, my brain was somewhere else until the next hockey game. So I'm getting to enjoy this in a different way right now. You know what I mean? Michael says, does Bob come back for a few more years? Thoughts on Bennett, Ekblad? So, a lot of questions there. Bob, these are my opinions. Bob's going to get extended for 2 years this summer, not at $10 million, maybe a little bit more than half that. If I'm Zito, I'm going to pay Bennett what he wants. I'm going to tell Ekblad to take what I can give him, and whatever you have left, if you have to move Erod to clear up some space to try to sign Marchand, you do it. So for me, the perfect summer would be Bob extending 2x6, Bennett taking 4 years and $8 million, Ekblad taking 4 years at $4 million. Moving Erod, Marchand taking 2 years at $4 million, and Samoskevich getting a 2-year deal because he needs a deal. To me, that's the perfect summer, and the backup goaltender. Unless they're going to try to move Cooper Black up, which might be a little bit early for that. Hey, Rosado. How you doing, bud? David says, Leafs fans hurting. We get it. Been there, done that, but simply attacking strangers on a personal level is so weak. We might have to call it leafing. It's weird. It's really weird. He got the moves like Barkov, Rosado. Barkov was on last night. Rick Bones, good point. Says, nice Mikko Matthews would have been scary. Give Shanahan a little bit of credit in the sense that he did try to move Marner and get Rantanen. He did try to do the right thing, right? RC says the fact that this team will face an upset Canes team looking for revenge and then possibly going after McJesus, who will be looking for revenge, would be daunting, but can't wait for tomorrow. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Right? Basically, we're like, we got a cup. Here it is. We've got it. You guys want it? You mad? You mad? Come get it. And somebody might, but somebody might not. You know? I mean, since we were down 0-2 in this series and down 3-1 in that game, it's like everybody looked around the locker room and said, no. Prowagan says that I see that Bissonnette's now backing the Panthers against Carolina. Jeez. The dude literally lit a shrine to the Leafs yesterday on national TV. And now he's going to try to turn his attention this way. Get out of here. I agree with you, Cam. Somehow, the fact that they're making us play tomorrow, honestly, this is my completely made up, unreasonable conspiracy theory. The league, obviously, the offices are in Toronto, and what they figured is, well, if Toronto wins, they'll be at home, make Carolina travel, no big deal. But if Florida wins, screw them. We're going to start the series on Tuesday, so they don't even get to go home. So fine, that's okay. That's all right. If this team was going to wilt for lack of energy, we would have done it. If we were going to wilt because of lack of energy, Toronto would have been this would have been it. because as good as Carolina is, Toronto's energy, speed, the ability to get goals on the rush like that, if Florida was going to crater because of lack of energy, this would have been the series, in my opinion. Rosado, they didn't threaten me. They just said some stuff about Fluffy, and that was their karma. Oh, did we get to 9? Did we get to 9, Rosado? I made this chat. I can't see it on here, Rosado, because I'm not on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard. So I can't see it here. And I can't leave the stream open in the second window. It'll slow up my internet too much. Kay said, yeah, Paul said, F the play, crush the D, so in Game 7 they have nothing left. Yep, he's not wrong. Colby says, I'll play devil's advocate and say the Leafs look totally different when Stolarz got injured. Stolarz probably would have won Game 3. We don't know. I wonder if they're ever going to, actually tell us exactly what happened. If they're gonna say he actually got hurt on the mask, on the puck that hit the mask, or if it was his neck. I mean, he was okay last night. I guess he could have played last night, but they wanted to leave Woll in. Oh, hold on. I got one here at the bottom here. Hey, thank you again, Michael. Thank you, bud. Thank you, buddy. All right. He says, so what do we learn? Number 1, never chant we want the Stanley Cup champions after you almost got reverse swept by the Sens. Number 2, don't chant we want the Canes when it's going into Game 7 with a team history of choking in Game 7s. Yes, Michael. Yes. I was stunned. I was just stunned this year that the same group of Leaf fans behaved in the same manner. It's just we were all young and dumb once. I'm going to assume. Did I miss another one? Michael? Hold on. Or are you just letting me know now? Because I'm way behind here. Did I miss another one? Let me see. Chat's going way fast. I can't. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Chad. Says, congrats, guys. The better team won. Our top guys do not have the heart to compete with the Cats. Chad, I'm going to say something here. And I know Leaf fans don't generally want to hear it, but hear me out. I said this earlier, but hear me out, because our top 6 didn't exactly burn down the barn either. But look at it from this perspective of guys crossing each other out. Barkov and Matthews, Nylander and Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Marner, Nyes and Tkachuk, Tavares and Bennett. That's the 5 for Toronto. The problem, because our 5 there, they didn't tear it up. What tore it up was the bottom 6. Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand, Gadjo had 2, Greer had a goal, Nosek had a goal. Our top guys, I don't know what our goal total was, but I don't know how many more goals our top 6 had than Toronto's. So I genuinely don't feel like it was the Leaf top 6 not showing up. It's just that Shanahan has not put together the same quality of the bottom 6, because that's what won us the series. I think the first 2 or 3 goals was all the third line last night, right? Or at least partially. So, it was the Jones goal, and then the next 2 or 3 was all bottom 6 until Reinhart's goal. So I understand the frustration, but I think a lot of it falls in the bottom 6. All right, did I miss any others here? Let me see. I think I've got them all here now. It showed me up here on okay. Thank you for letting me know if I missed one, because the chat's moving so fast and I can't see it, which is a good thing. So thank you for letting me know if I missed anything else. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate that. Rosales says, I'm getting an E2 jersey if we win a cup. Kyle said he'll actually give me my Forsling jersey if we win the cup again. He didn't say that. Oh, boy. Let's see. Do we have something else? Yeah, the D had goals. Yeah, Ekblad, Mikula, Kulikov. That's right. That too, John. Yeah, that too. Don't leave that out. So Pente says, what player has impressed me the most in the Panthers so far? Luosterainen. We knew Lundell, right? And I'm not going to count Marchand because if we're talking about the group of guys that we normally have, Luosterainen really has stepped up compared to his regular season. It's been so much fun to see. And that's what won us the series is that third line, especially. There's not many teams that are going to have an answer for that. Which is why I figure, if you re-sign Marchand, we're good. But that's why I keep saying just to overpay Bennett. Because if we overpay him, maybe 5 years down the road, we're kind of screwed. But who cares? Could win us another cup or so. Because keeping Lundell at 3C, it just puts all the other teams at such a disadvantage. So if Luosterainen could just continue to develop like that, the problem is we're going to have to pay him. I don't know how many more years is on his contract, but he's going to be worth some money, right? I don't know if he has the skill yet to make a jump to a second line situation, but it's just perfect for everybody right now. Kenneth says, start of the series, Panthers third line. Pacioretty was a surprise. Yeah, that started against Ottawa, right, Kenneth? He put him back in, and didn't he get the series winning goal? Or one of the goals there at the end. Kachukin says, Marchand made it very clear in his postgame that he ain't going to be a Maple Leaf. And Craig's right. The Cats' third line can roll any other team, can roll with any other team's top line. Yeah. Pente says, Luosterainen is the perfect third liner, but I bet he can play the second line also. His analytics are superb. Yeah, he's a good hockey player. That's a really good deal that we got him out of the Trocheck trade. Sure. Dark says, I'd keep Luosterainen and Marchand and Lundell together if at all possible. If you're Marchand, where we going to go if you're Marchand, right? Hey, thank you, Michael. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Michael. He says, I would say that Marner's for sure not coming back to have cap for the bottom six and not. Stars have to take for the additional players. Any team in the playoffs has like we do. No, and they don't. The thing about that is because team-friendly deal. I mean, Barkov's most money on the team, right? And whenever you're taking just a little bit less to stay together, that's the difference. It's just, and then we only got one Bob's 10. To me, that's part of the reason we overpaid Bennett. Because we don't have one more year on Bob's 10. And Bob for another years are like 6 per. Then if you give Bennett 8 for 4 years, is it an overpay? For his numbers, maybe. But for what he means to this team, you got to do it. Because if you remove Bennett from this equation, yes, Lundell can go up to 2C, but you're probably not going to move Luosterainen up there, right? Because you're going to keep Samoskevich there, or you're going to go Lundell, Luosterainen, Tkachuk as your second line. It could work, but then you better find yourself a hell of a 3C to go with whoever is going to be with Samoskevich in the third line. So it's just a matter of keeping it all together, in my opinion. Nyes is asking plus $9 million. Yeah. Yeah, he's worth it too. The kid's good. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. He says, Jaws, who's your all-time MVP this year? So far, you would vote for Reinhart? I'm going to be honest about it and follow up on what I've been saying so far. To me, it's Lundell. To me, because goes out, Lundell up top, and he gives us such an advantage on that third line, the penalty kill. Like this is we're a Cup champion, great team, and we might win, but it's a very delicate balance. You either Bennett or Lundell for that situation. I mean, I love Reinhart, of course, and that's all right. And certainly we need that. But when I think about him, I think about what would happen if you remove that spark off the case. There's a lot of guys in this team to remove that play. We got issues. But a series like here against Toronto, do we win this series if we don't have Lundell, Lucian, and Marchand? Oh no. Oh no. Thank you, Ray White. Michael, yeah, we don't have $14 million plays like exactly. The Leafs are going to have $22 million in cap space. Nye's only $9.25 now. Yeah, I would want $9 million if I was him too, right? Barkov got the game puck. All right, I'm gonna. Pro says Lundell took a step this year, especially when Barkov was right. What, my internet? Oh, there goes the internet again, huh? Yeah. Well, we'll get it back. We'll get it back. I'm not sure when the neighbor's line here. If it doesn't jump in a minute, back out and come back in internet. It's not the speed. I'll tell you when I'm going to back out and come back in. Just give me a second. All right, try this again. So for those that missed it last week, what's going on with my internet, unfortunately, is not my house. They came out last week, and my neighbor's line needs to be replaced. There's a junction box for the 4 houses that are in this area right by my house. And so what's happening is their line needs to be replaced and reburied. So it's sending feedback to all of our other lines. So I'm not the only one having these problems. So they put in a work order to replace the neighbor's line. But as you guys know, these things take a little bit of time. So there's nothing left for them to do. They've checked everything. My house is fine. So I just got to wait for them to rebury, to come bury a new line. So I apologize, but that's the best we could do right now. Kyle, Kenneth says maybe Kyle's streaming ways to win next snowball fight. Yeah, right. Petri, yeah, Jaws top 15 films for me is definitely number 1. For me, obviously, right? All right, did I miss any supers while I was away? Okay, let's see. Hungry says Dangle is off the rolls. He's calling Pomo and Chucky bad faith for being gracious winners and saying the Leafs are better than they played. I know. It's like I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to take the high road. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do. Craig says, I like Pomo keeping the coaches and the players' handshakes. Yeah, absolutely. I agree there. Froggen says, get Starlink as backup. There's a couple of guys from Florida that sell it that are Panther fans over at Marine Data Systems. Perhaps they can sponsor me. Well, now I looked into the Starlink. That's not a bad idea, but I looked into it, and basically the complaints are that it has a lot of glitches from when you're trying to stream using it. So that would kind of defeat my purpose. I'd look into it, but once it's set up, if it does the same thing, that would be a concern. Yeah, Great White said, tell the neighbors he's costing me super chats. Yeah, I know, right? Unfortunately, there's nothing. They should have replaced the line years ago. They replaced my line 2 years ago, and they should have just replaced the neighbor's line at the same time. But you guys know how these things go. Let's see. What is this? This is a good one. Dangle is covering Western Conference Finals instead of East because channels like mine, Tarksic, has held negative to the Leafs. Defensive Player of the Year. If you had even one brain cell, and had watched any of my content, you would know you were a lying piece of shit. Gone. He's gone, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just like, yeah, right? I'm the guy saying, I hope they're sick because that would excuse their play. Saying I've literally seen the Panthers play like that when they're sick. Yeah. It's like they make shit up. They make shit up and then they post it as truth and they think, what's wrong with people's brains? Yeah, he got his 10 seconds of fame, right? Yeah, Kachuckin says, I can't believe we won after all those power plays in Game 6, right? Which, by the way, good one. Shout out to the refs last night for just no matter what, obviously, there's a couple you have to call. But didn't things like they didn't in Winnipeg the other night. You love to see it. Just let them play. No, I think Yandel's done. But I think this was the last year the Yandel hit, or it might have been already. Yeah, Ted, thank you for bringing that up, man. That referee, I hope that ref is okay. That was hard. I couldn't look. They're showing all the blood. That's not my strength, is looking at blood. True funny story with that. One day when I was a kid, I was slicing up an orange and I cut my finger and I saw the blood and I fell on the kitchen floor and broke my arm. Yeah. Kenneth says this series had 3 too many men calls. The one yesterday was kind of, he was getting off the ice. Like the one yesterday, the Leaf guy, he was kind of at the door, and I get it, but I thought it was a little, unless another guy came back out after that, because the way they showed it, the TNT broadcast showed it, they counted 6, but the guy was at the box. But did somebody else jump on after that? I didn't see that part. Okay, so it was just above his eye. That's good. Petri, yeah, the blood was not. This year, he's off the books next year. Okay. You glad he's earned his money? He's getting in Biz's head. Yeah, wasn't Mooney one of the ones that that Dangle was saying they haven't won a game in the playoffs with him as ref? Was that one of the guys that he was saying that? Because it would make no sense for Mikkola to purposely take him out if we were paying him. I mean, Just makes no sense. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I'm glad he was okay. Thank you for bringing that up because I forgot to mention that. All right, so he's out. I mean, that was, when you see all that blood and you see a guy holding his eye, you're just like, oh my God, there's nothing worse than something like that. Yeah, hey, Coop, how you doing? Yeah, and there goes my internet. Oh, jeez. What do we got? 5 minutes here. It's weird. It didn't give me this problem at all during, so it is. This was the one. 0-9. Gotcha. I'll give this a couple minutes to come back. Now with their line being buried, with the line being a problem, it's giving me timeouts like this for a much longer time than it used to. Used to only do this for maybe 5 or 10 seconds. So now it's popping out all over the place again. Oy vey. I'm just going to pop out and pop back in. We'll try this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll see. We'll see if that helps or not. Oh, the Marlins also won. Yeah, I haven't been paying attention. Kyle's the one been paying attention to the baseball. So I can't convince Kyle to do a baseball channel. I can't imagine what that would be. Are there people that do the baseball? Like, are there fan channels for baseball where they call like every game like hockey people do? I mean, it's easy for football, right? 16, 17 games, especially if you're a Dolphin fan, right? But hockey, 82 games. But are there people that do it for baseball? What's 162 games? I mean, that's a commitment, right? Especially, middle of the summer, those games get, boring, right? So there goes the internet again. That's fine. That's fine. If they want me to go off here early today, I will. I'm not going to fight with them today. You know what I mean? Great White said, are we still talking at the cash? Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. He says mostly really large baseball channels do theory and history. They don't do game by game. Right. Glenn says if I'm a Tua fan, I only have to cover 8 games a year. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Well, at least I know my internet is not a Leaf fan giving me problems. So I think I'll call them today and just expedite the process and tell them that they're going to have to give me a month for free because of these problems. Because this is just absurd, the length of the problems that we have. So can Tua remain healthy? Off topic here real quick. No, probably not. Probably not. It's probably not going to work that way. Yep. All right, everybody. I'm going to roll since my internet's not cooperating with me. We're close to that time anyway, and I got to get my eBay pack and ship done. Sorry about the tech issues. Thank you all very much for all the super chats. Genuinely love you all. Appreciate everybody. Night off. Everybody go do whatever you do tonight. Do it. Whatever you're going to do it. Go have fun. And then life starts again. Tuesday. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you.